Everyone in the wedding hall started whispering. A black luxury car stopped outside the venue, and a millionaire stepped out. But what shocked everyone was the woman standing beside him. Her dress was simple, her past was unknown, and just a few hours earlier she had been sitting on a sidewalk, but tonight she was about to walk into the wedding of the man's ex-fiancée. And by the end of the night she would become the most unforgettable person in the room. Part 1. The broken engagement. Ethan Carter was known in the city as a self-made millionaire. At only 34, he owned a successful tech company and lived a life most people dreamed of. For 3 years, he had been engaged to Victoria Langford, beautiful, elegant, and from one of the richest families in the city. But there was something Ethan didn't realize until it was too late. Victoria didn't love him. She loved his success, his status, and the lifestyle he provided. One evening, Ethan overheard something that shattered everything. Victoria laughing with her friends. "Honestly, if someone richer comes along, I wouldn't hesitate," she said. That moment ended the relationship. 2 months later, Ethan received a wedding invitation. Victoria was marrying Daniel Harrow, a billionaire investor. At the bottom of the card was a handwritten message, "Hope you can make it." The message felt less like an invitation and more like a challenge. Part 2. An unexpected encounter. The day of the wedding arrived. Ethan had no intention of going, but something inside him refused to let Victoria believe she had broken him. So he put on his best suit and drove toward the venue, but on the way, something unexpected happened. At a traffic light, he noticed a woman sitting on the sidewalk. Her clothes were worn, her hair messy, and in front of her was a cardboard sign that simply read, "Just trying to survive." Most drivers ignored her, but Ethan didn't. For some reason, he stopped the car. He stepped out and asked softly, "Have you eaten today?" The woman looked surprised. "No," she admitted. Ethan bought her food from a nearby cafe. They sat quietly for a moment. Her name was Clara. She had lost her job, then her apartment, and slowly everything else followed. Life had pushed her to the streets. Then Ethan had an unusual idea, something bold, something reckless. He looked at her and said, "Would you like to attend a wedding with me tonight?" Part 3. The transformation. At first, Clara thought he was joking, but Ethan was serious. He explained everything about the wedding and his ex-fiancée. Clara hesitated. "I don't belong in places like that," she said, but Ethan smiled. "Tonight you do." He took her to a boutique. The staff looked confused at first, but after a shower, a haircut, and a stunning evening dress, Clara looked like a completely different person. Elegant, confident, radiant, even Ethan was speechless. For the first time in a long while, Clara looked at herself in the mirror and smiled. Part 4. The wedding entrance. The wedding venue was filled with luxury cars and wealthy guests. When Ethan's car arrived, people immediately recognized him. Whispers spread through the crowd, "That's Ethan Carter," but then Clara stepped out of the car, and the whispers grew louder. No one knew who she was, but she carried herself with quiet grace. When they entered the hall, Victoria saw them. Her confident smile froze. She had expected Ethan to arrive alone or not show up at all. Instead, he walked in with a woman who captured everyone's attention. Daniel, the groom, leaned toward Victoria. "Who is she?" he asked. Victoria didn't have an answer. Part 5. Stealing the show. Throughout the evening, guests kept glancing toward Clara. Not because of her dress, but because of the way she spoke, the way she listened, the kindness in her eyes. She was genuine in a room full of people pretending to be something. At one point, Daniel's business partners started talking with her. Within minutes, they were completely engaged in conversation. Her intelligence surprised them. Her perspective fascinated them. Soon people were gathering around her table. Meanwhile, Victoria noticed something she hated. For the first time at her own wedding, she wasn't the center of attention. Clara was, Part 6. The truth revealed later in the evening. Victoria approached Ethan. "So who is she?" she asked coldly. Ethan simply smiled. "Someone who reminded me what real people are like." Victoria looked at Clara again. She expected arrogance, but instead Clara was laughing with the staff, thanking them for their hard work, treating everyone with kindness, something Victoria had never done, and in that moment Victoria realized something uncomfortable. The woman she thought was beneath her was actually the most admired person in the room. Part 7. A new beginning. After the wedding ended, Ethan drove Clara back into the city. The night had been surreal for her. "Thank you," she said quietly, "for reminding me I still matter." But Ethan shook his head. "No, thank you. You reminded me what kind of people actually deserve a place in my life." The next morning, Ethan offered Clara a job at his company. Not out of pity, but because he had seen her intelligence and strength. Months later, Clara wasn't just surviving anymore. She was thriving, and the night she walked into that wedding became the moment everything changed. Sometimes the people society overlooks are the ones with the most incredible stories, and sometimes all it takes is one unexpected moment to change someone's entire life. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like the video and subscribe for more powerful stories like this, because the next story might surprise you even more.